Howdy.
I'm done being nice. If you don't hand Ringo over soon, I'm going to get my friends and we're burning this town to the ground. Got it?
We'll keep that in mind. Now, if you're not gonna buy something, get out. Well, you've been causing quite a stir. Glad I finally got to meet you. Welcome to the Prospector Saloon. Looks like our little town got
I
itself
can't
dragged
hear
into the
your
middle of
screen.
something we don't want anything to do with.
Yeah, I
About a
couldn't,
week ago, this traitor, Ringo, comes into town. Survivor of an attack, he says. Bad men
what's it
after him.
called?
Needs a place to hide.
Should,
We figured he was just in shock,
stream
so
the
we gave him a place to lie
application
low.
to you.
We didn't actually expect anyone
I
to
can
come
only
after
share
him.
my, screen, which fucks with the audio. If it was the application, the audio would be playing.
That's so stupid.
Yeah, I know.
He's holed up at the abandoned gas station up the hill. Some of the others, like Sonny, will probably stand up for Ringo if he asks for help, which he hasn't. Personally, I hope he
Good
sneaks
thing
out
there's
of town one
subtitles.
night and takes the powder gangers with him.
Yeah,
Chain gangs, really.
that was pretty
The
cool.
NCR brought them in from California to work on the rail lines. Problem is, it turns out that giving convicts a bunch of dynamite and blasting powder isn't the best idea. It was a big escape not too long ago. Some of them stuck together so they could make trouble. That's what we're dealing with now. All right. Not much, other than they're a bunch of freeloaders who expected a few rounds on the house. I was able to get them to pay up, though. Of course, one of the great cons did knock my radio to the floor, by accident, and it hasn't been working since. They were having some kind of argument about it, but the guy in the checkered coat kept shushing them. Sounded like they came in from the north through Quarry Junction. If that's the case, I can't say I blame them for not wanting to go back. That whole area is overrun with the kind of critters that just get mad if you shoot them. Merchants avoid that whole stretch of I-15 like it's radioactive, which it could be for all I know. I didn't hear exactly, but the leader was talking about the strip. Fellow wants to get there and avoid the 15, he'd have to go east. Take Highway 93 up. Sure, the outside looks okay, but I think something broke on the inside. There'd be caps in it for you. I do like to hear what's going on in the world. And that Mr. New Vegas seems like such a gentleman. I know that thing as much as anyone else around here. It mostly keeps to itself, which is just fine by me. Other than rolling around once in a while, it doesn't do anything useful as far as I can tell. I don't know why it took an interest in you, but I'd be careful. It's never helped anyone before. It acts friendly enough, but I don't trust that whole cheerful cowboy act. I find it all very creepy. It was here when I took over the saloon 7 years ago. Some people have said its owner lived here, but no one knows who it was. Fine by me. Mostly traders looking to buy bighorn or meat and hides. The traders are the main reason the general store manages to stay in business. Most travelers heading south on the I-15 just push on towards Primm, unless they're in desperate need of supplies. There's always something interesting going on, but the biggest news has to be the coming dust-up between the NCR and the Legion over the dam. The new California Republic's got the most power in Nevada. Money, troops, you name it. They do what they can to keep things safe in the region. But if you ask me, they're trying to do too much. They're spread too thin. I'm pretty sure the NCR wants to hold on to the dam because it's one of the few places around that can make electricity. The Legion are a bunch of savages, though. No idea why they'd want the dam. Probably plan on destroying it or something. Slavers, killers, and all other kinds of trouble. They dress up like Roman soldiers, so there's no mistaking it when you see them. The rumor is that the Legion is far larger than the NCR lets on, and that it's been due to luck that the Legion hasn't overrun the territory. Be careful out there.
Evening.
That girl showed you how to aim that pea
That's
shooter,
nice.
huh? Remember the 4 weapon
Thank
safety
you.
rules, and you'll be just fine.
You're welcome.
True, but bolt action rifles like that are good for sniping, and not much else. Getting yourself a sidearm wouldn't be a bad idea. Name's Wishman, veteran bounty hunter. Governments and private contractors sometimes need outside help to deal with a problem. If I like the job, I offer them my services. I've been doing this job for 50 years, longer than most. Most bounty hunters die young, but I'm very particular about the jobs I take. Spent my early years as a scavenger, or prospector if you're fancy. I'd go into pre-war ruins and pull out valuable salvage. You learn early on that abandoned ruins are frequently occupied by wild animals. Monsters, raiders, slavers, malfunctioning robots. You get plenty of experience fighting hostile assholes, so transitioning to mercenary is actually pretty easy. Curious about this little skin condition, huh? I assure you it's probably not contagious. They call me a ghoul, but really, I'm just an ordinary person like you. The only difference being that my skin's sloughed off. No big deal. The world we live in is contaminated with leftover nuclear fallout. Drink unpure water, get irradiated. Eat 200-year-old food, irradiated. If you're lucky, the radiation will just kill you. If you're unlucky, like me, you become a ghoul. I might not look pretty, but radiation doesn't hurt anymore. In fact, it heals me. If I ever get injured, I just roll around in toxic waste. That little perk's come in handy, allowing me to check out pre-war ruins that scavengers can't otherwise touch. Just passing through, really. I don't stay in one place for too long. It makes you predictable, easy to ambush. I heard the NCR had some bounty work at their HQ. Figured I'd give it a look, see if I wanted to take it. If not, keep moving. Rule 1 is to always treat your gun like it's loaded, even if it isn't. Don't wave it around like a jackass. Rule 2 is to always treat your gun like it's loaded, even if it isn't. It's a rule so nice, I said it twice. The third rule is to keep your finger off the trigger until you're ready to fire. Have I mentioned yet to treat your gun like it's always loaded? Rule 4 is actually a bit different. Be mindful of what's behind your target. Bullets can miss. They can also hit the target dead on and keep on going to hit what's behind them. Think before you shoot. This is an extended magazine. It'll make your pea shooter shoot 8 peas instead of 5. No need to use a workbench, just slap it on.
Welcome back. I had hoped you wouldn't need to come see me again so soon. What can I do for you? You take care now.
That's close enough. Who are you, and what do you want with me? Sorry about the gun. You just caught me off guard, that's all. We got off to a bad start. Let's say we start over with a friendly game of Caravan. You know how to play? Yeah. He doesn't look very tough, though. I hear he's afraid I'll shoot him down from one of the windows when I see him. And he's right. I'll have a much bigger problem once his friends show up. There's no way I could handle all of them in a gunfight. I'm gonna lay low for as long as I can, assuming the town doesn't throw me to the wolves. I've got no chance against the gang on my own. We'd just end up sharing the same grave if it's just the two of us. Now, if some of the other people in town were also on board... Start with Sunny Smiles. She's been friendlier than most around here.
Hi there. Sticking around Good Springs for a while longer? Say no more. I'm in. Joe Cobb talks about leaving us alone if we hand over Ringo. But I know his type. He and his friends will come after the town eventually. However, between you, me, and Ringo, we aren't exactly a force to be reckoned with. A lot of people around here look up to Trudy. If you could convince Trudy to join us, some of the folks in town might decide to help out as well. I know Easy Pete's got a stock of dynamite somewhere, and Chet just got a shipment of leather armor we could borrow. Talk to them as well. Finally, there's a good chance we'll all end up with extra holes in us. So if Doc Mitchell could cough up some extra stim packs, that'd be great. A silver tongue would help. Convincing Trudy that we had a good plan to win the fight would also help. I don't think give is in Chet's vocabulary. Even with the town at stake, he'd still make you barter with him. Easy Pete's pretty protective of his dynamite. You'd have to convince him you know a thing or two about explosives before you handed it over. Sure can. Take the road southeast out of town till it hits the freeway. Prim is the town with the roller coaster straight south. Can't miss it. NCR patrols do a good job of keeping the highway clear, but I'd keep your gun where you can reach it easily. You never know who you'll run into. Off the road, you'll probably start running into hostile wildlife. My advice would be to stick to the highway when you can. Not in Good Springs, no. But if you're up for a little scavenging, there's always the schoolhouse. Most of what's in there is junk, but there's this old safe that even Easy Pete wasn't able to crack with dynamite. If you want to take a shot at it, take these. If the lock's too much for you to handle, reading through the magazine might give you the edge you need. You'll need those to pick the lock. Be careful, though. Put too much pressure on them, and they'll snap. Always happy to help someone down on their luck. I hunt geckos mostly. The meat's pretty good, and I can always find a buyer for the hides. I also help keep the town clear of rat scorpions and coyotes. Not many people live in Good Springs, so wildlife is always creeping in. Sure, what do you want to know? Southeast of here is Prim. Can't miss it. Since it has the giant old roller coaster right in the middle of town. The NCR's got an outpost there. If you follow the road north, you'll eventually hit Sloan and Quarry Junction. They mine rocks or something, but I heard they got troubles lately. I wouldn't head that direction if I were you, though. Got critters up there that don't take kindly to getting shot. The new California Republic. Bunch of settlers and soldiers coming in from the west, fixing on making Nevada their own. They can be right pushy, but the roads are safer because of them, so I tend to let it go. Not that I got a choice. Well, the wildlife for one thing, rowdy locals for another. They're protecting their own. Just happens to help us. They've been holding off this other group from the east, too. Got a funny name. Call themselves Caesar's Legion. Never seen them in these parts, so I couldn't tell you much. I hear rumors, that's about it. Supposedly they keep slaves and they got some real nasty ways of killing folks. But maybe that's just something folks in the NCR cooked up to make themselves seem more useful here. Less uninvited. Around here, mostly coyotes and geckos. The coyotes are pretty dangerous in large packs, but otherwise they're nothing to really worry about. The geckos aren't too tough, but they've got a nasty bite. I've heard about bigger, nastier versions out in the wasteland, but I've never seen them. Stick to the roads when you can, and steer clear of the hills north of Good Springs. The critters up there are big and poisonous. If you want to know anything else, just ask. I'll be waiting.
Hey there. So you're planning on taking on Joe Cobb's gang. It's a big risk, but I suppose you have to do what you think is right. I was planning on sitting this one out, but for some reason, I can't help but like you. I'm with you. Let me have a word with a few other folks, and I'll see if I can't round up some more members for this militia you're creating. While everyone does own a gun, we could stand to be a little better equipped. The general store probably has what we need in stock. Be careful out there.
Howdy. Too dangerous. Gonna kill all yourselves if I let you touch it. Better to leave it buried. Safer that way. Uh-huh. Guess you know what you're doing. I'll go dig it up and get it ready. You'll have it by the time the fighting starts. Bad trouble. Welcome. Yup.
You looking to buy some supplies? If Ringo doesn't head out on his own, I think we should hand him over. The town shouldn't get itself mixed into the problem. Don't mistake that for coward talk, though. We're a town of survivors. We'll fight tooth and nail if pushed, but we don't go looking for trouble. You looking to buy some supplies? Now just hold on. I never voted to take on the Powder Gangers. That's a 1,000 cap investment you're talking about. You made your point. I can provide people with some leather armor and extra ammo. Sure hope it's worth it. And I'll be guarding the store while all this is going on. I have to put my business first. You understand. Take it easy now.
Hello again. Sorry, I only do business through well-known vendors. Too many people out here ask to see your wares, only to mug you in the end. But I assure you, I'm not carrying anything you haven't seen before. Mostly junk and crafting components. I don't have anything that can defeat a horde of exploding convicts. Sorry. Maybe you'll get lucky and they'll blow themselves up. Yep, see you later.
I'm gonna tell you something.
What?
How are you holding up? Seems like wherever I go, it's always the same. Folks just never leave each other alone. Oh, I'm not much good in a fight with my bum leg. And my supplies are scarce, but I'll give you what I can spare. You take care now.